My name is Kieran Garvey. This is the tree structure for my batch assignment. I have a data folder which contains the two files, the list of clubs and list of players, and I have a backup folder within the data folder which contains just one backup at the minute. I have the IRFU file, which is actually the main file to load up the app, and then I have a scripts folder which contains all the different scripts which are linked in together for like an adding club, add players, deleting the and recovering records, club management. I have a declarations file, a delete club, delete player, functions, one or two functions that's used in a couple of different files, goodbye, just displaying the goodbye message, an intro, displaying the intro, a main menu displays the menu at the start, and a player management file, search records, view club records, and view records. My app is based on an IRFU player registration scheme. I have an intro screen, a developer screen giving information about the app, and I also need to change permissions of files in the scripts folder. So I ask the user whether they want to change that or not. If they hit no, the permissions don't change. If they hit yes, the permissions do change. I have club management, player management, I have backup and recovery, and I can exit the app. Club management. Pressing 1 will view all clubs. You can press any key to flick through the list of clubs, or press or and it will return. 2 will add a club. When you're adding a club, your club name is checked for if it already exists or if it contains any numbers. When adding a county, it has to be a valid Irish county. The app then displays back what you've entered and it finds your province for you. Yes will add and no will bring you back to the start. Deleting a club. You can actually quit and brings back to the menu. V will show you a list of the clubs. You can flick through all the clubs or press or to return to your menu. And then in your menu, if you type in one of the clubs that you had just looked at, if you don't use a letter and it doesn't exist, it will tell you. Or if you enter a valid club, it pulls back that club, and press enter or space to delete, or any other key not to delete. You can then press 4 to return to the previous menu. Press 3 for backup and recovery. Backup and recovery lets you save up to 5 backups. How it works is when you back up a file, the first thing that the backup does is it checks the number of backups. What this does is looks in the backup directory and checks to see how many club backups and player backups there currently is. If it's greater than 4, it finds the oldest file, deletes the old files for clubs, and same for players. The backup then displays that it's backing up, where it's backing up to. It adds in the current date and timestamp and tells you the backup's complete, and press any key to continue. Basically, I was going to add in more features for the recovery feature, but all the recovery feature does at the minute is it gets the newest backed up file and restores it into our clubs.txt file or players.txt file. The best thing to do here would have been to display a list of backups, but I didn't have enough time to do that. And if you hit number 3, it returns to the main menu. If you select 2, you go into the player management screen. In player management, you have view all records, and in view all records, press any key and it will just skip through all the records until it gets to the very end. Or if you press or, it will actually exit. So basically, go back in and press or again just to show you. It exits. How it works is you select the one which calls the view records file, and in the view records file it sets the start point, end point for the pagination, and then basically it counts the number of players in the file. We then go in and we assign the whole player file to results to display, and we call our display results function. We then do our calculations to get the numbers to display the number of results found. We print the headers, we use awk to then print out all the results from the player's file back into view records, and basically it prints out the end, either the end has been reached, or we ask you to press any key to display the next 15 results, or to exit. Option 4 is delete player. Basically what happens is it comes into the function and it gets the player to delete by asking what to enter. Basically, if the player exists, it goes through displaying back the player details to the user. It does that by using awk to find all the player name, last name, email. Then if you press space or enter, it then actually uses sed to delete the player from the file. If you press any other key, it just exits. If you press V, it displays the results. To do this, I'm going to just go full screen. To do that, you just press V to view all players. You pick and write down the number of the player you want to delete. Press or, you return, type in your number, and you should be there to delete. Press space to delete. Press space or enter to delete, and it deletes the player. Player management option 3 is search for players. We can search for players for any of the details that was entered when the player was added. How it works is the display search menu is called once we enter the search records. Displays the list of everything you can search for. You choose an option and it calls the display search function, passing in what we're looking for and what search type we're actually using, so we can check the input, and then we actually display the search as well. Once you've made a selection, it displays back what you entered and asks you if it's right, and if you press yes or no, it checks the input or it brings you back to the menu to select again. If you had selected yes, it continues on the function, and it uses the case statement, uses the search type to decide which awk results to look for. I have exactly equals, I have a regular expression. I've also used grep. If nothing was found, it displays a message saying nothing was found. Or else, if something was found, it creates a temporary file, and then it prints back that file in a pagination of up to 15 results per page. I'm going to go full screen now just to show you how to search a player. Let's search by county first. Let's say Waterford. Is it correct? Yes. It brings back all the results. If I press Q to return, and let's try the same again, a county, put in something that isn't a county. Yes. It says it wasn't found. Province is the same. You can type in Munster, and it displays back all the results. And quit brings you back. Phone number. You can enter a phone number. Says number was not found. Let's see if I can get a valid phone number. And displays the results back to you. There is checking on the inputs in this, but I could have improved it a lot more. I have put a bit of a better error checking or input checking on the add user, which I'll show you in a minute. Option 2 of player management is add new player. The first name and the surname do error checking for making sure it is only letters. For gender, you can add in male, female, FM, whatever you want. For date, it has to be DD, MM, YYY. For your email, it has to be a valid email. If it's not a valid email, it won't accept it. For your county, it has to be a valid county. Like if I type in water, it says invalid entry. If I type in Waterford, it moves on. For a mobile phone number, your mobile phone number area code has to match the county you typed in. So if I typed in, it says invalid entry, and it comes back and it actually tells you incorrect area code for Waterford. If you put in the correct area code and you put in too many numbers, it gives you invalid entry, and it comes back saying invalid number detected. If you put in the area code with the correct number of digits afterwards, it accepts this, but it also always will accept any mobile number. player position has to be 1 to 15. Anything else is not accepted. And then basically what happens based on the county you typed in, it brings you back a list of all the clubs that were in that county. You press E to enter your club ID of the one you wanted. Let's say this one was Tramore 112651. Basically then it comes back and it displays the results you've just entered. Press enter to add the player or press any key to cancel. And the player is added. I've gone over a little time here, so I'm not going to go through a lot of the code for the add user because I just don't have the time. But I'll go through the add player because it's the most complex. Basically, this is the if statement that actually prints out the screen on the right. It actually prints out this phone number error, but when it's blank, you don't actually see it. After entering the phone number, it goes checks the input details. The check input details for the phone comes in for the numeric phone, checks the phone results. For numeric phone, calls the check phone number function. Check phone number function then calls to see if it's a mobile phone number, which is up here, and it goes into the mobile phone number and it basically checks against a array of mobile phone codes, which is here in my declarations function. You see the mobile phone codes that I allow are 083, 085, 086, 087, 088, 089, and basically for the area codes it's all the different area codes I've set up here for each county. Basically the check mobile number returns 0 or 1 if it's true or false. It then checks the phone number matches our regular expression up here, which means between 8 and 10 numbers. And then if it is a mobile number, it returns okay. If it's not, it continues on. If check the county is an array. If it checks to see if it's the county that was entered is in the array of the area codes and they match, it returns an error. So if it's county and not mobile, then it returns okay. If it's not, returns error 2. So basically that's to bring back the two different error messages. Basically what it is, the error messages are it's invalid number detected is error 1, or error 2 is the incorrect area code for the county that was entered. And basically because we're in the error loop, it will keep calling the add details for the phone number and keep doing the checks. And basically if there's no error, if the check result, which is returned from this function here, doesn't equal error, it basically breaks out the phone because it's okay. That's the end of my video. I don't like doing videos. It took me a long time and I'm sorry it's gone over time. Okay, bye bye.